Welcome back. We've got Chaz Zolkowski from the Cadaver Zone along with Harley and Isabella here today. So welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you all awake?
Mm-hmm. We're trying.
Okay, all right.
We were open last night, so it's been a long night.
I don't doubt it. I don't know how you can turn around. I mean, I've got to get to bed by, if I'm asleep by 7:30, I will still wake up exhausted in the morning. Right. So it takes a lot to get some good sleep. But thankfully, Harley and Isabel are a little bit younger, so it's probably a little easier for them to turn around, wake up in the morning, maybe. But something else they had to do this morning is all of this makeup. So what does it take to do like what Harley has all over her face right now?
Well, how long did that take you this morning, Harley? About 20 minutes?
It took a little bit less than that because I woke up late, so say at 15, but usually 20, 30 minutes, depending on what I'm doing, you know? The latex takes a bit of time to dry, so.
And that, I mean, it's absolutely, it looks so extremely painful, even though it's not. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on.
I've just got like latex on my face that I then like split open to stick safety pins through, so it looks like, you know, I had a little accident. Him in a dress fell into the safety pin box. Fun times.
Yeah, I mean, if you can see it there, it looks absolutely alarming. What does it take to get all of this together? I mean, because this looks, for me, it'd take hours for me to be able to do what you've managed to do in what seems like a short time. How do you get to do this?
I really don't know how you get into spook house and you get into being fast because you don't have a lot of time at spook houses. You get there, you got to get your stuff done and have it together. And it's just something I enjoy. I enjoy being able to look, you know, kind of crazy without it. It's a fun time.
Well, and you have to have that mentality of being a spook, being an actor, and it just begins to come naturally.
You just kind of start to have that flow and figuring out how you do that. So, of course, what Harley's got is not the only type of makeup you do. What else do you all do in terms of, you know, up in the scare factor?
Well, each room has a different theme, so each room will have different types of characters depending upon what the theme of the room is. So we actually have a gal that is kind of in charge of our makeup and helps determine what's going to be in each room. So she sits in, we have what we call the spook room where they go in and get their costumes on and get their makeup or their masks or whatever. And she sits in there and says, okay, you do this, you do that. And we have a set of lockers that have the costumes already in them. So they just go to that locker, get that costume out and put it on, and if they need makeup, then they go to the makeup chair, and one of our actors, we have 3 or 4 that do help with the makeup, and they'll sit there and do that person's makeup, and then just rotate in the next person, and because we'll have as many as 35 or so people in the spook house at one time, so it takes quite a bit of effort and quite a bit of pre-planning to make it all work.
I can't even begin to imagine. I imagine, you know, if it comes to the masks or the costumes, that's got to be a little bit easier to get on than the makeup is. And of course, Harley now is working on some makeup for Isabella. And how long does this process typically take to prep for this? Because as Harley mentioned, you know, there's not a lot of time, but it looks like it would have taken hours in order to accomplish what she's got.
Well, as Harley said, she was in a little bit of a time crunch this morning, so she got hers done in about 15 minutes. And she's going to have Isabella done here in about another minute or so. But you know, that being said, by the time you figure we may have 10 actors in makeup and not just in a mask on any particular night. So, you know, 15 minutes times 10, you know, you're talking a couple of man hours worth of work, but that's why we have 3 or 4 people doing it at the same time. Typically, what we like to see is that our actors get there anywhere between 5:30 and 6 o'clock to be ready to open at 7.
And of course, this is not necessarily traditional makeup. This isn't what you just go to the beauty counter at Walmart or Target and pick up. Where do you manage to get this together? How do you manage to determine what it's going to take in order to create these looks?
Well, actually, a lot of this stuff now, because we've been doing this so long, we figured out ways to make it
That is true.
make it at home with like glycerin and what's the name of the other stuff that
Gelatin. We use a lot of
Gelatin
gelatin. The scab blood I'm using today was homemade by Caitlin, so we don't have to buy that. And they use like corn syrup and all that stuff. It'd be funny what you can find in your kitchen that looks like blood, and you just mix it up and it works.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the crazy thing is how many of these things can be homemade. You know,
Yeah.
when you look at it, you're like, there's no way it's homemade. It's got to be professionally created somehow. But and in a sense, you all have become professionals at what you do, and so it is professionally created, but right here at home.
Right, and you know, again, as we've talked over the past few weeks, we've been doing this a long time. So over the years, every year we improve what we do and how we do it to make it more efficient and look more realistic.
And of course, in just 60 seconds, look at what Harley managed to do with Isabella there. I mean, that's just
I can whip
impressive.
out bruising like there's no tomorrow.
Absolutely incredible. So we're running out of time, so a quick recap. When you all open and where are you located?
We open again tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll be open this weekend, and then we'll open next Wednesday through Halloween. Every night we open at 7 o'clock. We are located at 43 Highway in Cadaver, which is 5 miles north of Stone's Corner in Joplin.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming in this morning and doing all this work for
Not a
5
problem.
minutes. But, I mean, it's just absolutely incredible what you all are able to pull off. And, of course, we'll have more information on our website at koamnewsnow.com. We'll be right back after this.